Let's try this. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Planet Raygun. This is episode 4, part 2 of the Blood Banks of Theranor. We have lost Syrah. She's wandered off, possibly with Well, it's not Maximilian. It is Massimo Thrust. Perhaps she has been pulled aside by her contact here, but the crew has luckily found Hijack, Carlisle Lapointe, and Leland Zero. Um, and we will find out how they connect up shortly. Since we have two characters who are coming into the scenario, they don't have Bond Dice because they did not participate in the overture and there's not Bond Dice with them. So, one way that those can be rejuvenated or set for within a heist would be a move that is called Bridging the Void. And I am going to read that for you all, and I will let me provide for the group the link to the moves. This is towards the bottom. It's in status moves, the third section. Bridge the Void. Two or more player characters can establish a scene where they reflect on their heist campaign. During the conversation, any character who connects the topic at hand to a revealed bona fide may choose one of the following: refresh a bond, remove a condition, or generate a campaign hit. Bridge the Void unlocks for a character once they've revealed their first bona fide. A bona fide can only be connected for an effect once. Each character may only gain the effect of Bridge the Void once per heist. So you get one scene and get those bond dice. Center a conversation on one of these six bridges or suggest your own. And then there's some prompts there with a number of different things. These don't have to be things that have happened within the camera's view of our Planet Raygun series. They can be things that you kind of make up as well. I guess in some cases. There's some that are very specific, but if it's more general and it feels loose, then go for it. And you can always make up something as well. But basically, you want to take whatever that topic is, connect it to a revealed bona fide. So bring it back to yourself essentially in some way. And then if from that scene, you get the choice of what you want to do from that. So if that's something that anyone wants to set up at any point, just give it a suggestion or kick it off. And just, I would say, like, just say, like, I'm going to let's bridge the void or however you want to do it, however you handle it. And in any other CFB game, this is basically the vulnerable move within this game. A little bit more structured, a little bit more controlled. The reason for that, for what it's worth from a design perspective, is that you have so many ways to undercut danger, change results, that kind of thing, that we're just trying to add some limits to it to keep the tension within the heist. And to make some of those other things like give yourself up also play into the game. We'll see if that shows up in this heist. That said, I'm going to do a little intro of where we are. So we have entered New Gothicka, the city that is under that giant wrought iron dome. And your initial obstacle, your objective here is to locate the entrance to the blood banks. There's not any documentation of the blood bank's location that you have from the outside, and you know that there are these strict and very vicious, what is called the blood board, the sort of like government, the leaders of this society, and they control access to the blood banks. The complexity here is two, and I believe that this is on the sheet. So I'm going to switch from past to current obstacle on that. Um, and so that's where we're at. We are entering New Gothica. New Gothica itself is immediately unwelcoming to all but Terranors themselves. It is, as you walk inside this dome, um, you see just, it is effectively the cityscape from Dr. Caligari. There are, it's these labyrinthine veins that are winding around wherever the Blood Banks are, this giant maze, and it is angles protruding from everywhere, and there are these like big Gothic towers that are sticking out of everything as well. Um, every time uh, you turn, you feel like you're in a completely different place. It's very disorienting. These are all these corridors that you're moving through. The veinways, is what they're called, are open air. As much as you can have open air corridors within a dome. And over the millennia, structures have been built in these really harsh angles. They've been stacked and they're jutting from each other. It's sort of mimicking the fang-like outcroppings of the planet's landscape. And around any corner, any seeming dead end might open into an extravagant gallery or park or castle. In fact, there's one thing that you can see sort of looming over everything, and it is this. I don't know if you would know what it is called yet, but it is a towering kind of gothic Dracula-esque castle in the center of everything, perched upon this crag. Um, I guess not necessarily in the center of everything, but it's there, it's prominent, it's looming over the scene. Um, Help me paint this. Well, first, we know how Fix and Jane Doe 2.0 got in, but we are curious as an audience of how Hijack and Leland got in. Um, so, can you all give me a little sense of did you meet up with the group ahead of time? Did you sneak in on your own somehow? How have you gotten into the facility for this heist?
I think Hijack has, because of his circumstances, he has not exactly like a comprehensive view of the way the galaxy is at any given moment, but he knows where certain levers he can pull are, like having a shipment meant for him delivered to the wrong planet, where he
Ooh,
will have to go and sort that out. And that just happens to be Theranor. Theranor, sorry.
yeah. I love it. One of the things as we were kind of doing general introductions that I forgot to mention is the Bureau of Wonder, this big sort of antiquities shopping mall, is actually like half and half on the outside of the dome and the inside of the dome. That's partly why the crew was able to navigate through these cracks. So I think it would make a lot of sense that you're kind of like figuring out where this shipment has gone and going about an official business and maybe get this sort of like waiver to um, come inside, or you just wander in somehow. Maybe you, yeah, maybe you end up wandering in alongside the rest of the crew. But yeah, I like that. Leland, how about yourself?
I'm of two minds, but think I think Leland's a little bit sneakier, and there were some industrial size sarcophaguses. There was a shipment
Hmm.
of those that were
Mm-hmm.
being delivered to the planet because they make them offsite. It's just cheaper to do that. Um, and so he saw that they were being delivered, and I think he just sort of snuck his way into one. Um, And so when they were sort of passing through, they would generally check to see if anything is inside the sarcophaguses. But lucky for him, uh, he got in clean.
Love it. Help me paint the scene, everyone, as we are navigating the veinways here. What helps residents of the city navigate the complex corridors? And why does that make your own navigation more perilous?
I think there is literal blood running through these vein-ways in some aspects, so in small capillaries maybe throughout the vein-ways. And you can tell what color the blood is depending on where it's going and where it's coming from. If you're very familiar with the
Hmm.
locations, if it's darker red or if it's more purpley blue, you can tell.
Horrifying.
There are these uh, mechanically enhanced bats that perch themselves on like lampposts and street posts. Um, and we can see some of the Theranors. What's the plural of them?
Terranors with
Terranors.
just with a Z at the end as opposed to an S.
Got it. Because they're edgy. Um,
Yeah, they are very edgy.
the Terranors, they seem to they are able to communicate with these bats in a way that we aren't, and so they're sort of like what do they call it? Not customer service, but um, someone help me out here. What are they called? They're at kiosks. They're at like
Wayfinders?
no, well, sort of. It's probably a Canadian.
Greeters?
No, they're like you go to like a theme park or something like that. And you go to the
Yeah.
kiosk and they'll tell you where you need to go.
An information desk.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
So they're like basically like tiny flying information desks that only the Terranors can communicate with.
Cool.
And whenever we try to communicate with them, they just sort of laugh at us and flutter off.
Just like a theme park.
Oh no, we lost Jack.
Fluttered off.
Yeah.
Uh, the wrought iron dome on the inside, the lightning has scarred almost constellations into it. And so if you keep track of what's just over the edge of what you can see along the inside of the dome, you can map your location. Probably only useful for people who spend a lot of time here, though.
I think the Terranors are not so much on public lighting. I don't think they need it. I think their parasites help them see in the relative darkness of this dark side of the planet. And that means we do more stumbling about than we would want to, because to have an open light would really highlight us as tourists. And the problem is, I think at regular points on walls, if we're feeling our way along, we will find little sharp as knife things sticking out that are, for convenience's sake, for the locals, like bottle openers mounted on the wall. But every once in a while, if you're feeling yourself along an alley, you might drag yourself across a blade that's been conveniently placed for the locals and is very hard to see in the dark.
um, I think as you are trying to navigate this space that is perfectly navigable by the Terranors. There's so much wayfinding that's available to them that is mysterious to you. You are stumbling around, and Jane Doe, you realize that Sierra is not with you. Presumably, Fix is there invisibly. Um, Give me the scene where you realize that Sierra is gone.
I think I don't have much of a problem navigating in the dark because I am
Hmm.
mechanical. And I think I look around and I just notice that Sierra is not here. And this happens a lot where somebody will just disappear from our party in the middle of a heist. Uh, it's something that frequently happens on our heists, and they've always come back. So I
Mm-hmm.
assume that Sierra, who is a professional, will know what she's doing and will make it back to us. Um, so I think I'm not going to spend too much time worrying about that. Instead, I'm going to try and whisper to my colleagues where I see those sharp bits in the walls, don't touch that. Uh, or watch your step here. There's one in the floor. Or things like that in order to try and stop them from bleeding themselves out before we even get to the blood banks.
I think as you give one of those warnings, Carlisle like comes around a corner.
He'll look at Jane Doe for a second, almost as if he doesn't recognize her at first, and then, oh, good, he made it. Where are the others?
Sierra is missing. Fix is invisible. Leland's right here.
And you see a stack of these sarcophagi, and you hear a pounding from inside.
Yes, that tracks. Are we
I'm right
worried about
over
Sarah?
here.
Wonderful.
The banging persists.
So what's our plan?
Well, I imagine once we let Leland out of his coffin, we
Do we have
will.
to?
And I think there's more pounding and more pounding. I think he'll cause too much trouble for us if we leave him in there.
You remember the last job? This might be less trouble.
Perhaps. Well, I do believe we should let him out anyway. There's probably not a lot of air in there. And you humans and your air, well,
We are rather fond of it.
yes. And then find our way to the blood banks. It seems straightforward enough.
Hopefully it'll stay that way.
The kicking is starting to slow down now.
All right, I'll
Carlisle
go
will
ahead and
just
pop the thing
unlatch it.
open. Let's just do it.
You do.
Oh God.
If you could just lift your head for just 1 second and Fix put some sort of quick adhesive around his head and is patting along the pillow and underneath. It's like we don't want to leave any evidence behind. You can see that he's picked up a couple bits of hair and detritus and then carefully puts it in a specimen bag and into an inner pocket.
Hey. That's my dandruff.
I will return it all in good time, but we must keep focused on the objective, which is getting into the blood banks.
I don't like this. Who are you? Kicking my things like this.
A
My
professional.
DNA.
Do you need all of that hair? He just
I mean,
takes a little jeweled scissors out of his pocket.
I don't got much of it, but the skin flex and all that. My mom used to tell me about root magic. You that's why whenever you go to a barber shop, you clean up your own hair. You go to a nail salon. You make sure you collect your own nail clippings. You don't want no one having access to that because Lord knows what they could do with it.
Lord knows. Is it possible your mother was renting out your services to these stores as some sort of general cleaning person? So I don't know that that's standard practice. You might have just been sweeping up hair and then the profit was going to your mother.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Genius, really.
Yeah, it sounds about right. All right. And Leland
You
will slip out of the coffin.
you hear kind of the crack of lightning hitting the dome and kind of like a flare in one of these like constellations on the roof, and it branches down and hits this epic castle that is towering above the twisted angles of this landscape. And one of the other things is that it catches your attention. The bright flash of light is there's these giant banners, tapestries that are hanging above. I would say, yeah, like at least 6 feet wide and maybe 10, 20 feet long. Uh, and they say, vote yes on Canta 12. Um, Eliza desires. and promises good for all. Um, what are you all doing? Like, how do you want to find out where the blood banks are? What's your plan here?
And obviously, we registered to vote.
Politics is my thing. I'm not. Both sides are kind of saying, it's like stay out of that kind of thing. Is and with Jane, is there any kind of like physical difference now that she's been infected?
Not really, not that you could tell.
Uh,
I think I want to talk to one of those mechanical bats. If they're only talking to Terranor, well, I can talk to one.
Okay.
So I think I'm going to step up to the closest one that's it's still in like an alley
hmm
that, and if there's anybody local walking by, they wouldn't see us. And I'm going to
hmm
talk quietly to it. Hello, information desk.
Yes. What can I help you with?
I have a few questions.
Questions that I may have answers to.
I hope so. You
Me
seem the very helpful
too.
sort.
That is my job.
Question one, where are the blood banks?
They are where you already know they are. Follow your heart and its beating blood.
Ah, unfortunate for us, I don't have a heart. I am a robot, you see.
As we continue this inquisition, give me a collection roll. With presents, I guess. Yeah.
Should roll with presents. Let's go. That's a 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm using my Halloween dice, and they're
Nice.
working out for me.
You said you have more questions, though.
Yes, what is this Canta 12 that we are supposed to be voting on? I'm not up on the politics, you see.
Oh my. The vote has already gone through.
Ah,
We will be
and
colonizing the entire Canta 12 system.
that seems to be for the best.
It's quite a gamble, if you ask me. I probably shouldn't divulge that information, but
Well, if it's already voted on, there's not much harm in speaking your mind.
speaking your mind here, as you know, is always a risk.
Hmm.
Eliza Hemlock would have it no other way.
And when does this colonization of Canta 12 start?
I believe it starts tonight. Today. We
Ah,
really have no difference between tonight and today in here.
that's why we call it night all the time.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
I knew that you were wise to the goings on of New Gothica and perhaps just playing stupid.
I've been off world for a while, you see. Quite some time.
Hmm. You're one of these new types, too.
Yes. How did
These,
you tell?
uh, there aren't many robots amongst uh, companions
Yet.
yet, is true. It is a pleasure to meet you. Your
You
name?
as well. I'm Jane Doe,
Hmm.
2.0.
Orlick, 3.7.
Or like 3.7. It is a pleasure. You've been most helpful. Is there anything else you could tell me about the goings on of New Gothica that I might have missed in the past little while?
Do you know about the wedding?
I do not. I love a wedding.
Oh, there is quite I almost thought that you were here from off-world just to attend. Two of the great nobles of Terranor's are wedding in the Garden of Earthly Bites.
Oh, and this wedding is today?
This wedding is today.
Tonight?
You must have a
This night?
celebration before you colonize the entire Canta 12 system, of course.
Of course.
What better
What?
time to wed in immortal union than today?
And I mean, I know already, but where is the Garden of Earthly Bites? Just testing your knowledge, you see.
Oh, of course. I am the information desk. You don't need to test my knowledge. Follow the brackish purple blood veins.
Of course. They
Of
just go around
course.
the way up that way. Yes,
You know so much that you're asking. Little
it's been a
quiz
long
master.
time since I've had a conversation with one of your type, and
Hmm.
it feels like coming home.
Well, welcome home.
Thank you.
If you don't mind, I'm off shift now. Flap, 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 flap. A noble wedding in the Garden of Earthly Bites. Um, Carlisle, what are you up to?
Well, a noble wedding sounds like it could be a good time if Carlisle is informed about that, he's going to plan on heading that way.
Love it.
He doesn't have an invitation, but that's hardly ever a problem.
So I've noticed. Um, Fix, Leland, how about you?
What other leads have we got at this point? That other than the wedding?
There's this castle, there was this weird vote, and there are just these vaneways that you can kind of wander around as well. Who knows what is around any corner. You also know that there's the other half of the Bureau of Wonder.
If you wanted to duck back out and go back.
It is split in, so like there is
Hmm.
a section of it that is inside of the dome as well.
Yeah, I'll head over to the Bureau of Wonder then.
Well, you know, Leland loves nothing more than a good wedding. Uh, so he's going to try and see about crashing said wedding.
Nice. We've got a couple wedding crashers. Jane Doe 2.0, what are you doing after Orlick 3.7 leaves?
I think I'm going to follow the vein ways and make my way to the large castle, the big spooky castle.
Ooh. Okay. Um, let's head to the Garden of Earthly Bites first here. This area, I'm assuming, Jane, you have given instructions to Leland and Hijack on how to navigate to the place.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
So they're following these brackish purple veins to this you're turning these corners. It's all feeling disorienting. You feel like you've wrapped around on where you were a couple times before the path opens up to this wide garden. Some enterprising Terranors found a way to clone the mammals of Earth's ice age from their fossilized blood, and then took some extra pride turning them into vampires. There are among the rolling meadows of this park space, you can see mammoths and saber-toothed tigers that also happen to be vampires roaming the landscaping. Everyone, help paint the scene. What calming park feature could make an outsider forget that they're a forbidden guest amid bloody, thirsty megamammals? That should say bloodthirsty, but That's why we play test.
I think rather than your typical park benches, there's like chaise lounges so that they're all
Hmm.
padded and that you can recline on them among the various earthworks and features.
They all just happen to have really low backs though, and just above the mid back. But it's
Spotted around amongst these lounges are what look like water fountains, but that's not water.
Mm, hmm hmm.
Refreshing.
They should maybe be like full on Bellagio fountains with synchronized spurting arrangements. So you
Oh,
could get,
absolutely, yeah.
yeah, couples holding hands watching these torrents arc through the air.
Beautiful. Just beautiful.
And there's actually, on the hour, there is sort of a synchronized swimming, not swimming, but like a sort of um, sanguineous show where some of the cloned dolphins are set out into the fountains. They
Oh,
perform and they flip and they do tricks. Um, but instead of throwing fish at them as a reward, they throw human hearts.
it's all very lovely. You can see why this would be the perfect place to stage a Terranor's wedding. The uh, grass is moss, or the moss is acting as if it was grass. You see lovers strolling about the park, observing the mammals. You see a little duck pond as well, and you see arrangements being set up for being finalized for this grand wedding. Amongst um, the uh, amongst the setup, you can see groups that are kind of groups of workers that are just kind of like moving around, adjusting things, adjusting chairs. And then you see a woman kind of standing above it all. Maybe on a little bit of a hill, but she also just seems more prominent than anyone else. Um, she's got this bone cane. Um, Wearing a form-fitting tuxedo and has countless shirt ruffles. You recognize the visage of her because it was on those "Vote Yes to Canta 12" uh, banners, and you can assume that this would be Eliza Hemlock, the Grand Countess of Blood of uh, New Gothica, the boss, the chief here. As she is sort of watching over all of this, there are these other uh, very old looking vampires for the most part that are wearing like very dusty formal wear that are moving around, and they will talk to her and then they go and seem to execute orders or to declare orders to be executed by the workers, by the staff. That's what the scene looks like. What are you up to here, Carlisle and Leland?
Well, for starters, could I also make an additional detail about the park?
Oh yes, yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I'd like to think that as part of their vampiric transformation, all of these animals have Dracula capes on.
Hmm.
And it's also a wedding. Everyone's got to get dressed up, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
That's kind of how they've been dressed up for the wedding event.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a formal attire.
Hmm.
And I think Leland noticing the sort of formal attire, the traditional formal attire of the Terranors is a sort of large cowled cape with the white with the red rather satin lining. He'll try to sneak one off of a larger animal and sort of drape it around himself to sort of blend in a bit.
Ooh. I like this. Give me a collection roll, in case this ends up being something more important. And let's do it with composure or maybe vitality, depending on how you want to approach it. You are trying to steal a cape off of a giant
Um,
mammal.
yeah, maybe can we do composure?
Yeah.
Uh, do any of my conditions? I don't know if I have conditions. I'm away from my computer right now. Do I have any conditions?
Do you have any
Nope.
conditions and would they affect this? Nope. Nope.
Okay. All right. So that is a six total. What is my composure? Or am I, yeah, my composure.
Your composure is
Plus
plus
one.
one.
Fabulous. Seven.
And what were the die rolls? Was there a
It
one?
was a 4 to 2.
Okay, cool. Um, yeah, tell me how you approach this. Tell me how it's looking.
I think it's just very casual. Carlisle and I imagine Carlisle and him went to this menagerie together. But as soon as they sort of got in, uh, Leland took notice of all of the sort of preparation, the decor, noticed the capes draped around these all these animals, and as well as many of the attendees. Um, and he notices, we'll say maybe like a giraffe. No, like, the giraffe's too big. What's a good like human-sized neck?
A good human-sized neck. Um, like some kind of like giant sloth?
Yeah, yeah. There's a vampire sloth, and it's too slow. It can't. What's it gonna do? Fight me?
Right, right.
So he just kind of like casually walks past it briskly and snatches it. And we see as Leland sort of snatches it and just very casually drapes it around his neck. The sloth is just now starting to reach up its arm, and at some point it'll attack in the next couple hours.
Um, yeah, I actually like that as a potential complication here.
Oh,
That
the attack of the sloth.
there's an angry sloth, yeah. Out and about now. Um, yeah, and I think take this as an exploit. I think that you have managed to pick one of the fancier capes. This is probably some creature that was going to be involved in the ceremony. So you have the cape of uh, uh, what would this be? Like, what's the name for this? A formal participant in the wedding?
Yeah.
An honorary participant?
Hmm. Working out the details later.
Yeah. These
But yeah,
are, if we keep in mind that like the Terranors are effectively, when it comes down to it, like the parasites within all of these host bodies, then it could be that because there's a collection of these particular
oh, there you
parasites that
go. Maybe
are
this is a very kind of important parasite that just so happened to end up in the sloth. This was
mhm,
like a diplomat, actually.
is hanging out. It's kind of like vacationing in the giant sloth.
Yeah, he said, well, I don't kink shame.
Yeah. Um, love it. Hi, Jack. How about yourself?
I think Hijack is going to be looking for the most either irritated person operating solo here, irritated
Yeah.
looking, or the most lonely looking person to try
Um,
and sneak in as a plus one.
I I'm gonna give you the direct choice. You see one of each. There is someone who is kind of standing all alone, and every once in a while you can see them like trying to approach Eliza, but then um, yeah, just kind of like getting a bit apprehensive and then like walking off and is just kind of like contemplating what to do in a corner. Um, and meanwhile, there's another person who is constantly being shouted at by Eliza Hemlock to do different things and make other. So you basically have two sides of the coin here. This person who's getting agitated because they have so much attention, and then this person who can get no attention from the person running the show.
I'll go with the person who hasn't not gotten attention.
Hmm. Um, you walk over, and they are again in this dusty formal wear. As you get closer, um, you can see that they have very high class monocle, we'll say. Um, just crystal clear glass. You would know this to be an incredibly valuable piece of glass, and um, has a sheathed rapier at her side as well. Um, and yeah, she sees you approaching, and you can see her kind of like sniff the air, um, and kind of like give you a puzzled and curious look.
Hijack can work with curious.
Hmm.
So he'd approach and say, hope I'm not troubling you. I couldn't help but notice that incredible piece you're wearing.
Oh, thank you. It's been in the
It's,
family for generations.
it's almost as beautiful as the one wearing it.
Hmm. I didn't know. Thank you. Thank you. I didn't realize that the sacrifices could be so kind.
Well, I am no sacrifice, I am sorry to say.
Oh, but you're um not imbued.
Everyone has flaws. That's just one of mine.
That is a flaw that no one inside of this dome has, except for the few sacrifices that have been brought in for the wedding, though.
Well, I'm not actually here for the wedding originally, but I had business on Terranor, and I have to say, while I'm here, I am trying to absorb as much of the culture as I can.
Oh, give me a diversion roll with presence here.
That is a four and a four and zero for so eight.
Okay. Um, what what is it specifically that you are bringing to these festivities?
What am I bringing? Well, I have traveled this galaxy far and wide, and I bring stories, experiences. I'm sure
Oh,
all of you could appreciate the wonder of places not under a wrought iron dome.
you're doing one of the readings.
Yes.
Oh, I see. She pulls out a shackle, um, and says, I see that someone has forgotten to do this. And before you even know what happens, you are shackled and chained to. You've been standing near sort of the what do they call those like canopies that they use in weddings, the arch or whatever. There's kind of a an arch that's decorated in kind of um, these like hanging red ribbons and a bower. Sure, we'll call it a bower. And you are chained to the bower now. Um, and she says, "Sorry about that. I apologize. Someone should have noticed earlier. I'm sure that you feel much safer now."
Uh, I suppose I must.
What's the story that you're going to tell? You can practice on me.
I think he will just very quickly summarize our last heist and the
Oh.
adventures.
Oh my. Oh my. So that planet, that supernova was never seeded with any riches whatsoever.
It was never going to be.
Oh my. Do you think they're all a lie? All of those little ceremonies?
I would hope not. I suspect so.
Hmm. This has been fascinating. Thank you for occupying me. It seems that I have no place, nothing to do here. Ever since I voted no on the Canta 12 takeover.
A dissenter. That must make you unpopular.
Yes, a bit.
Perhaps we could change that.
Hmm. How do you suggest we do that, storyteller?
You could invite me to accompany you to the wedding as a date.
But that means that I would have to stand up here next to you while you're shackled to the bower.
But how many have brought such a daring adventurer to the wedding event of the year?
Ooh. Um, Give me a collection roll with presence and add advantage to it because of the diversion roll working out for you.
That would be 11.
Ooh, excellent. Let's cut over to Fix and then we'll come back for the what happens with this scene. Fix. You are walking into the inner half of the Bureau of Wonder. Let's go around, everyone. Help me paint the scene. The look of this is much the similar as the outside of the outside of the dome, what the Bureau of Wonder would looks like. So this sort of octagonal puzzle box of a building. There's wooden cabinetry everywhere. There are ceiling gargoyles. There are these like spindly columns everywhere. What's a specialty shop on the inside of the dome that could never exist on the outside of the dome?
It's a pour your own blood wall.
Could you repeat the question again?
Essentially, I'm winging this one for what it's worth, so feel free to push the edges a little bit. But what's a specialty shop within the Bureau of Wonder on the inside that could never exist on the outside? What is unique? What is a unique specialty shop compared to what we saw on the outside? You don't know what we saw on the outside? You can probably make up anything you want.
I'll just add on top of the blood wall. It's a feature of the Red Julius stand that's there.
Hmm.
Um, Outside of the wall that of course can't exist because having a entire frozen dessert chain devoted to frozen blood desserts is probably
Yeah, yeah,
illegal.
yeah.
There's got to be a tailor, right? For
Hmm.
both common and fancy formal capes, as
Hmm.
well as more off-standard animal-shaped capes.
Yep. They do wear more than just capes for what it's worth as well.
Hmm.
Um, yeah.
There is it's actually not a store, it's a veterinary office for maintaining those mechanical bats.
Hmm.
Oh. Um, Fix you're walking in. It's
Uh-huh.
quieter here than it was on the outside for what it's worth. There's no tourists. This is a locals only spot, as you can quickly tell from the Red Julius situation. And yeah, the tailor, the mechanical bat,
The,
veterinary office, that kind of thing. It seems
the
to really
organ rental.
service the needs of the civilization within the dome.
Yeah. Uh, I think we're looking for somebody who looks shady because my current plan is twofold. I'm going to
Mhm.
pretend to be someone who was supposed to be hunted, who got separated from the party and is a little lost. But if that actually puts me in danger, I'm going to pivot and pretend to be somebody undercover, pretending to be somebody who's being hunted to catch out who's been letting unauthorized
Ooh,
individuals into the back alleys.
fun.
Layers on layers.
Yes, yes. Um, you come across a oh, what would they sell here? Um,
Portable
it's kind
pipe
of a
organs.
what did you say?
Portable pipe organs. Maybe on
Portable pipe.
wheels. Maybe
Yeah, I
strap
actually
them
like this
around your shoulder.
idea. Portable pipe organs.
Mhm.
A little kind of like a kiosk towards the side that has these portable pipe organs, and you see this what can be described as nothing other than a dusty antiquities dealer, and his child, assistant, pet, something along those lines. Um, the dealer himself has gray curls, and you can see has gray eyes, gray skin, um, and his companion is child-sized, fish-faced, and speechless, as far as you can tell. Is wearing a sailor suit. His eyes, its eyes, whatever it is, are whirling around kind of chaotically as it sort of like looks around and kind of um, hops around this little seller's kiosk. Um, and has as you approach sees you and it grins and just has rows and rows of real things within its mouth. Who's that now, Nerio? What have you seen?
Mario, what delightful eyes you have. Sorry, what's that? Uh-huh, uh-huh.
Nerio says he likes you.
Nerio has fantastic taste, if I may say. The sailor suit was a dead giveaway, but now confirmed.
Nerio, you have the sailor suit on again? You're quickly piecing together that the dealer is blind.
Hmm.
I told you not to wear that. It scares people off.
Oh, no, no, no. Quite the contrary. I love a good sailor suit.
Well, I'm
As a matter
glad
of,
that we have one customer. That's the only customer for the day. Now I know why. God damn it, Nerio.
sir, my name is Ledthaniel, and I couldn't help but notice your portable organs here. They are a delight. Do you rent
Viva
these out?
Tartak, for what
Viva?
it's worth. Peddler of pipe organs, most portable and plentiful.
Delightful.
I should say
Viva?
rare, shouldn't I? That would make the price tag more
Are they rare, Viva?
accommodating. But I have no idea what Nerio has written on any of these price tags.
What has Nerio written on these price tags?
Um, very appropriate prices.
Oh, not bad. I think Nerio's been earning its keep. These are all very reasonable prices.
Oh, and
But
who are you to say?
as I said, my name is my name is Ledthaniel. I'm sort of a I'm a guest and a VIP here. I was told by some honestly rather shady and exciting individuals that there was a unique opportunity for me awaiting in the alleys that lead into New Gothica. There was mention of some sort of obstacle course, some sort of chasing running thing. I don't know. It sounded very athletic and very exciting. I was to be a guest of honor, but I've gotten separated from the people who promised that they would meet me there. Uh, do you know anything about the sort of groups that gather for, I assume, some sort of athletic competition?
Oh dear. I don't believe you are meant to be alive, sir.
Is it that hard an obstacle course? I am quite fit, taking advantage of his blindness. Listen to the sliding of the muscles underneath my skin as I flex right by your ear. Maybe gives a little fingers over the ruff of his coat to provide a little squeak.
Hmm.
Tip top shape, I assure you.
He kind of you can see kind of a smirk on his face that he knows that you are lying to him. Um, are stories like that how you have escaped capture so far?
Well, there, there's that, and I'm actually very good at hiding.
Give me a diversion with presence.
Sure. That's a 7.
Um, I should be asking what you're afraid of in these situations.
Hmm, sure.
What are you afraid of? Retroactively.
I don't know that I actually will end up getting hunted by
Hmm.
looking like the big dumb tourist victim will get me the attention of the people I'm
Hmm. Hmm.
pretending are already after me.
Um,
Or just getting bit by this fanged little weirdo in the sailor suit if I'm not attentive
oh,
enough to how
yeah,
close I
yeah.
am.
Um, Viva kind of Nerio, go go get Borgum. I think this might be one of his. Um,
Excellent.
and so yeah, Borgum is being notified that he has um, prey waiting for him. And Viva turns to you then and says, "While we wait, interested in a pipe organ?"
I actually collect different material. I don't know if you're aware of it, but there are roughly 1,488 days left for this universe, and I have to say, not everybody is going to make it.
Hmm.
But you seem like a right
There's
sort. Have you given any thought to outliving the universe? Is that a thing you might be interested in?
there's been a certain aroma of what you say lately.
Mm.
Um, it's interesting to hear someone put so fine a point on how long we have. Have I been interested in how to survive that, though?
You've lived a long time, I imagine.
It does get tiring after a while.
What about Nerio? Does Nerio deserve to survive the event?
No,
I thought not.
we get along well enough, assigned to me by the Blood Board to take care of business matters that I don't handle as well. I really have no interest in when it comes down to it.
What if I could do you a favor with regards to the blood board?
And what would that be?
Well, if they have you tied down in matters that don't concern you, I could simply find a replacement for your duties and let you live what time you have left in the manner of your choosing.
Um,
Oh, 3 days just fell off the clock while we're sitting here making up our minds.
um, He agrees. And I want you to take a task condition here of
Hmm.
finding a replacement for little Nerio. So task conditions, to remind folks, are a special kind of condition that have a task attached to them. If you are able to complete this, you get da, 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 da. Let me find the actual thing here. You know what? Let's take a like 6 minute break, come back at 20 till. Or do we let's do 10. Let's do 10 and then I'll kind of read the rules and we'll swing back around.
Sounds good.
Cool. And we are back. Jane Doe 2.0.
Why,
And
yes.
cut to you. Um, you have been wandering and you had, oh, we need to talk about task conditions. So Fix has a task condition. Task conditions are held just like conditions. They work just like conditions while they're held. So if you are um, essentially doing something where you would, if you were to be doing something else in Viva Tartek's presence, that would be with disadvantage, right? Like if it's clear that you are not trying to complete this task, there is going to be some type of disadvantage on that. That said, if you're just out of the presence of Viva altogether, there's really no, or Little Nerio. Little Nerio wouldn't know. We'll adjudicate that as it comes. Um, the way that they're handled is it's essentially how do you find a replacement is it's an obstacle question. How do you find a replacement for little Nerio? So you can either do this through a series of rolls, kind of normal like exploration, and we kind of just decide like, okay, that's resolved. The other thing that you can do at any point is what's called execute a task, and that just works like a plan in the heist. So it's a complexity of one. If you get a 10 plus, the plan works flawlessly and you gain all of the rewards I'm about to list. If it's a mixed result, it works, you clear the condition and you choose one of the rewards. And if it's a 6 minus, the condition is altered, essentially becomes like more of a like grimy stuck on you condition. And I will decide a further complication. The rewards, if you complete a task condition, are very alluring. Gain 1 XP, receive a flaw or exploit, reduce watch by 1 tick, and if it's a 12 plus, you also gain evidence of the Galactic Overlord, or it's a campaign hit. I have not updated the copy on that. So that's how that works. You have this little side mission that you can go on. The disadvantage, of course, is that you're holding this condition as you go. But this is an offer that you made to Viva, so he takes you up on it. Meanwhile, Jane Doe 2.0. You have learned to some degree how to navigate the city, and you have come upon Castle Lancet. This is a series of creepy towers that loom like bony talons over the rest of New Gothica. They are perched upon a crag that juts towards the dome's apex. Within, winding tunnels and dank oubliettes surround a great hall where you know that the Blood Board governs the planet's operations. And as you are kind of wandering around, you can hear the sort of muted voices everywhere you go of the Blood Board debating, negotiating, doing all of that kind of thing. Help me paint the scene, everyone. What advanced technologies have the Terranor's rulers installed within the castle that breaks the throwback vibes?
Escalators.
There are these large doors that automatically swing open, and they have an automated creaking sound to make it sound like they're old creaky wooden doors, but they're clearly just mechanical doors.
They're the Star Trek doors, but they like creak like
Yeah.
old, like wooden. Yeah, I love it.
Touchscreen information kiosks that every once in a while cycle through ads.
For different things in the Bureau of Wonder. So the portable pipe organs comes up, and little Nerio is dancing in
Yeah.
his sailor suit while pipe organ plays.
Hmm.
Things like that. Jane Doe, you step through the creaking Star Trek doors onto an escalator and are being taken up some tower, and you hear echoing through the corridors howls. You hear these stern murmurs. And as you are going up the escalator, you see these tapestries hanging down with violent depictions of bloodletting around the universe at different pivotal points in history. Um, as you are wandering around here, what is it that you're looking for? Yeah, what do you think you're eyeing? What do you want to, yeah, approach?
I think what I'm trying to do is trying to find a way to determine what would be a distraction for the blood board so that
Hmm.
when we finally do steal the blood that we're here for, they'll be too distracted to really notice. I think that's what my main goal is, to find out what would cause a distraction, what would be distracting
Oh,
enough.
got it. Interesting. So do you think you would be like listening in on some
Yeah,
of these sounds that you're hearing? Yeah, approaching that. Um, Give me, as you are trying to do this quietly,
yeah.
among all the creaking and murmuring and howling, give me a collection with composure here.
Do I get a advantage because I am Terranor's?
Um, no, I'm gonna say no.
Yay.
You're
Ah,
in the castle of the Bloodboard at this point.
that is fair. Two.
A one and a one.
A one and a one.
All right. So the watch is gonna go up 2 ticks, which puts us 1 tick away from go time. Um,
You're welcome, everyone.
you hear, I think, the exact thing that you wouldn't want to hear. Everything that's happened in the heist so far is being discussed within this boardroom. They have not identified. Ooh, I kind of want to make it really juicy too. They, you hear discussion of every single person that you have been with. Fix. Um, you wouldn't recognize it, but you hear that
Yeah.
of little Nerio. Um, you you hear discussion of yes, there was this rapscallion of a character inside a sarcophagus, and we just distributed it. We weren't so worried about that. And there's this other guy going around saying that he's a grand storyteller. And the other thing that you hear is Syrah's voice.
Oh, that is juicy. Okay, I'm gonna let this go. I'm gonna let this go because this is too good. I was gonna try and negate that, but this is too good. Okay, instead I would like to, instead of negating it, I would like to use my soft reboot persona move.
How does the soft reboot persona move work? Our first persona move. Woo!
When any die you roll is a 1, you have a spark of opportunity to adapt. If you choose to initiate this move, describe how you change your function and appearance dramatically or slightly. Reconfigure your stats. The modifier total should remain the same, and at least 2 stats must change. And you decrease the heist watch by 1 tick.
Oh, okay. Describe
So
this for us.
I
I
think
am gonna put
listening.
the I'm gonna put the condition on you tied into this of something with Syrah. Like suspicious of Syrah or knows about Syrah, something like that.
Suspicious of Sierra. Got it. I think my while I'm listening and there's just something in the air here that my new companion in my body is reacting to. And I am becoming almost a darker color metal. My
Hmm.
eyes are becoming more red. My skin is becoming more sallow looking. And I'm growing, not growing, my teeth are filing themselves down into fangs. And I'm
Whoa.
looking more vampiric. I'm going to I'm going to switch my or no, I'm going to switch my composure to 0 and my presence to +1,
Okay.
switching those two. So I have more presence and less composure now because I'm a vampire.
At least two stats must change.
Yeah, so presence
Is
and
that?
composure.
Oh, I thought it means two changes, like a swap felt like one change to me.
That's fair. I
Let's
can I can file down that rule a little bit, but I think Amanda read it, yeah,
That was the intention.
how
Okay.
intended, yeah. Which
Uh,
might be obvious, but yeah.
and then I'm going to decrease the watch by 1.
Nice.
Yeah,
Um,
I look more vampire-y now. It's very noticeable that I'm more vampire robot.
Answer me this though, as you are transforming, like hulking out from what you've heard, what do you do? Hulkulating out.
If I'm gonna become a Hulkula, I think I'm just gonna burst in. If Sierra's in there causing problems, I want to burst in.
Cool. Let's cut to hijack. Uh, Hijack, you have offered to, did we say this person's name?
I don't believe we did.
Uh,
Hijack forgot to ask.
yeah. I think it's come out since the camera has been away. This is Tyona. Drop the spelling in the chat here. Um, Iona? Yeah, it probably would be Thiona in the no, Terranors. Ah, Tyona. Um, they have a very logical language, unlike English. Um, Offered to be her guest at the wedding. Um, and as the two are view, I feel like it's kind of almost a like halfway to flirty conversation of like, oh, so you would be my guest, would you? Um, and kind of bouncing back and forth along those lines. Yeah, let's play it out a little bit. So you would be my guest, would you?
If it, sorry, my dog has opinions. Um, one sec.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh, he'll smile and say, guest, date, whatever you like.
What do you think I'd like to do after the wedding?
I would love a tour. Perhaps you'd like to show me around.
Oh, a tour. I can show you what it's like to be a Terranors if you'd like. Did
As
I say be? I meant be with. Kind of the same, really, but
is
oh,
it,
I did I say that? No, I didn't mean to. Be with. Let's just leave it at that.
well, it would be wonderful to experience the planet from a local's perspective.
It's very dangerous here for someone who's not a local.
Danger is just a part of my job.
I'd have to protect you in some way.
Well, that sounds simply awful.
Oh, it will be so awful. You cannot imagine how awful it will be.
And I have known some awfulness in my time.
You have, haven't you? I can see it in your eyes. The
I've
hurt, the
heard wonderful
pain, the
things about
blood.
the. Oh, yes, so much blood.
Um, and she says, I can't be with you all the time, though.
Of course not.
You'll need
But
this. And she hands you an ancient crossbow with a bundle of tracking darts.
that was not at all what I was expecting.
Things are. I know Danger is your middle name, Carlisle. Hijack Danger Lapointe. But things are very dangerous here.
These are little tracking devices, are there?
Would you like to try one out right now?
I'm just curious what we would need to track for.
To
If this
find
is.
where you want to go, of course. Who you want to be with. Maybe that's not me. Maybe it is. Maybe it's
Well, right
someone who
now it certainly
approaches
is.
you and makes an advance. And you are mine, after all. And I will hunt them down and I will tear them limb from limb.
Such a fascinating culture you have here.
You'll tell stories of this wherever you go.
Absolutely. To the
We'll
wedding, then.
have to find a way to seal those delicious lips, won't we?
I can think of a few ideas.
Let's cut back to Fix.
I guess we
And
had
I
to
should
eventually.
ask the question. It's something to be thinking about. Is you've got a lot of assets here. This obstacle, the complexity is two. How can you locate the blood banks, the entrance to the banks?
Mhm.
So maybe before we cut to Fix, let's kind of like talk meta as the crew as well of like um, what you're thinking, how you want to manage the heist. The watch is ticking up. Yeah, it's worth thinking about. Like, do you have the information that you need to find the blood banks? Do you want to continue pressing in the location before you um, head into the final leg of the heist or the final portions of the heist here? Yeah, how are we feeling about what we've got and what we might need?
Just a quick question. Is the crossbow a flaw or exploit or part of
Oh
the
yes, it
kit?
is a flaw and exploit. Yeah, or it is specifically for what it's worth. It is an exploit because exploits are objects and flaws are information. The only real difference there, for what it's worth, is that exploits are the things that can be saved from heist to heist with different mechanics. Otherwise, function the same.
Got it.
I mean, it wouldn't be that hard to say that we could take advantage of the wedding having most of the people off site and out of the way so they wouldn't notice us sneaking in, and then say we can like reverse engineer the tracking darts of the antique crossbow to find the location of the blood banks as an important waypoint, perhaps that's used for navigation. If you're it's tracking something, it must be tracking it against some relative point, and we could just declare that's the blood banks being the central geographical spot.
Yeah, I'm game for that. That's a really elegant solution.
Absolutely.
Do you want to make an attempt at that now, or do you want to? Is there anything you want to continue to like prep or push for while things are still at this sort of like mid level of risk?
I say let's try it now.
Got a
All
good
right.
amount of
Yeah, I don't really
stuff on
want
our
to meet
side.
Borgum.
Let's go.
Fair, fair. Okay, so enter the blood banks. How can you locate the entrance to the banks? Lack of any documentation of the blood bank's location, strict and vicious board members who control access to it. So we're talking about we've got the reverse engineering the tracking darts to understand how they're tracking, because that should help us understand the map of the city a little bit more clearly. And then the wedding is going to be, you're going to do this during the wedding.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Um, we may need a scene of how you're getting hijack unshackled. We can fold that into the plan as well here, if there's something that you've got that you want to use in order to overcome that. Um,
Sorry, my first stupid idea was putting the Bower onto a portable organ and just wheelbarrowing it out of there. Inconspicuous.
hmm, totally inconspicuous.
Stick a pin in
Um,
that idea, and if we come up with something better.
and then the sheet is not totally working correctly, so make sure to look at your own heist kit as well for things that might be relevant here.
Well, I packed a holographic decoy this time.
Ooh.
That could be handy.
Now that you've been established as the storyteller, it will definitely be helpful to make sure that there is a version of you
Absolutely.
here.
Yeah, I think that could be part of the distraction is somehow you switch out yourself. Maybe you just can get out of handcuffs. I feel like that's a skill you probably just have. And you pull out your handcuffs and activate the decoy and somehow dive out of sight. Maybe it's like a smoke bomb. And then all what's her name? Tiona sees is a smoke bomb, and suddenly you're still standing there with the shackle on.
That works. Happy to use that.
The Do we have a smoke bomb?
They could be part of the holographic decoy.
Oh,
It's not
okay,
actual
okay. That's
smoke.
part. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Um, uh,
holographic smoke.
One note on Planet Raygun is that when we establish something as true, it will always be true
All
once
right.
we've established it. So whenever we use a holographic decoy, there will be a smoke
Yep.
explode out of it. Um, so you're at +1 now for the plan, if I'm understanding the things that are being used right. Is that where you want to be? Is there anything else that you want to use to boost this up?
I'm good with +1. What do you guys think?
Yeah, makes sense. I think we got a good little plan.
Okay. Who wants to roll it?
I feel like this is Michael's problem.
Uh, didn't you let me roll and blow the last one? Sure, you want to do that again?
Yes.
Sure, because any resentment disappears the moment I'm not the guest. I get it. Okay. For the sake of the crew. All right. This time we got 9.
Nice.
Oh, much better. So we'll look at the moves here. Escape plan or do execute a plan is the core group move, and a 9. The plan works, but there will be a complication in the next phase. Um, so
That's a problem for later
successful.
us.
This is working. We do it with style. So each of you narrate your signature moment in executing this plan.
I think the moment you see from Jane Doe 2.0 is bursting in through these doors, and there's lightning strikes coming from behind her through the window,
Hmm.
and you can see bats flying over her shoulders as she goes in. The cobwebs, kind of trace over her like a veil, and she storms in and goes, "Syrah?" And then it's cut off.
Ooh.
At the well, the pre-wedding, I suppose. Hijack will lean in toward Tiona and say, have you ever wanted to be on the kind of adventure that I tell others about?
Ooh, I I do. Oh, did I say that?
You did.
We're
Watch
not getting
closely.
married. It's far too soon for that.
Oh, I'm not the
You'd have to
marrying
be
kind.
Terranors too, and I know you're not quite ready for that.
Not quite, no. Watch closely. And then, poof, and nothing has changed to her perspective. Meanwhile, he's kind of stuck to the back of a caterer walking through the crowd and then disappears around a corner.
And I love that your holograph and her is continuing to do this like dangerous like flirtation kind of thing.
For some reason, the idea that I just have in my head is just Fix wheeling an organ down the streets and whistling to the rendezvous with I think Hijack it would have to be just so that they can so he can I don't know hide behind the rolling pipe organ as he's playing simple discordant chords, having neglected to take any instruction manual with it
Hmm.
until they find a quiet place to take apart the tracking arrows and do the reverse engineering for navigation to where they're going next.
With all this, we see the three of you and Leland as well coming together. And uh, Jack, are you around yet? Quick check in. No, okay. But everyone gets together and you are navigating these uh, uh, Dr. Calgary corridors until you come upon the blood banks themselves. Um, the You walk into this little structure, and there is just a quaint little reception desk, and there's a staircase that spirals down the center of a wide shaft. Everyone's at the wedding, so right now this room is empty. This stairway is yours to descend, and you do. The view on the descent at first is just the planetary crust until walking, and you begin to notice corpses affixed to the sides of this downward tunnel. What is it? Chute. Um, and as you are winding your way down, you you get to the base of the blood banks. You see every wall of this network of catacombs. There are rows and rows of these bodies. These are
Tacky.
the tellers. Their eyes are stitched shut by machine. Their palms are flush with their shoulders, facing out almost fearfully. Their fingers work like jointed switches. The gestures that they are posed in are combination codes effectively to withdraw deposits through the tellers' mouths. These are the blood banks. Help me paint the scene, everyone. Far below the dome, below New Gothicka, within Terranor itself, how can you tell the Terranors know you're here and are far from thrilled about it?
There's an alarm going off. It's sort of a caterwauling, but it's sounds more like a cat screech.
The mechanical bats that are lining the ceiling of this area. They have little blinking red dots next to one eye, and we see those dots following us because we're being monitored.
Ooh. Hmm.
I think whichever teller we happen to be walking past is repeating the same message of please lie face down on the floor for your protection. Please lie face down on the floor. And it's picked up by the next one as we go walking by.
Uh-huh. Until, yeah, it's sort of triggering as you walk past them
Mhm.
until like you just hear this echoing through the entire thing. Um, you are walking through these arched tunnels. There are these chilling gusts of wind every once in a while. There's votive stands, but they're stacked with just beakers of probably like dried out blood. You can kind of see the stains within them. Um, and the complication here is that you are trying to move away from this noise, move away from these red eyes, and you turn a corner, and standing there with her bone cane and her form-fitting tux is Eliza Hemlock, the Grand Countess of Blood.
We voted
She
yes.
Uh, she has the highest collar on a planet of high collars. It is practically over her head. She is wearing it glamorously. Um, she has slate eyes and is just kind of staring contest gaze at you. Um, and the description here says she can smell optimism. She thirsts for it. Um, and she speaks to you and says, I created a blood-soaked masquerade of benevolence every fool in this galaxy believes. And yet you believe your selfish little sneaking will fool me? You delicious, delicious sad sacks. What do you do?
Can I declare that her bone cane is actually a special asset that I am very interested in acquiring because of the nature of the bone?
Yes, you may.
Great. So if I'm doing that, I need
Hmm.
to describe the item. Uh, I
Oh, this is your move, eh?
This is my move.
Do you want to read that move? This is the first
Yeah,
time we've
so
had this move
it's the
revealed.
first time. Holy
Yeah.
cats. Plan B in outer space. So, in any facility location, I can declare that the crew has reached some special asset only I knew about. This is curator's loot. I need to describe the item. So, in this case, the bone cane is a very rare specimen carved from an enormous rib. I think of a vampiric aquatic creature of the sort that no longer lives on this planet.
Hmm. Okay.
And I think I can rebuild it, and it'll be super cool. But I need the cane.
All right.
Keeper describes where the item is in the scene and how it may be protected. The former seems obvious, but the latter is entirely up to you. And then
Hmm.
it says crew members in the location can roll 2d6 to obtain the item. Just straight up.
Yeah. Um, I think this will be a two-stage thing,
Mhm.
where I want to know, well, because it is in the hands of, so a couple things. Technically, the move is for the facility. You are in the target right now, but we have
Not
seen
quite
this in
there
the
yet.
facility, so
Mhm.
I will. I think it makes enough sense because we
Mm.
have, yeah, seen it, and we can kind of like retroactively put that into play. Um, the interesting thing here is that the move is usually assuming that the item is just there. So I think what I will need is, however you want to handle it, a diversion or an escalation in order to get Eliza to drop the cane.
Hmm.
And then I think that the 2d6 roll is to see if you swipe it or not.
Yeah, my first thought was to attempt some groveling, to actually follow the instructions, throw myself down on my face and crawl towards her and say, "You're so right. I'm so sorry that we came here," and just try to go arm over arm and say, "You're so smart. I can't believe we thought we could get away," until I get close enough to just reach out and snatch it and
And
roll
knock it
away.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, cool. Yeah. Give me that roll as diversion with presence.
Okay. Plus
Do
zero.
you have any conditions that
Yeah, I'm
work?
depleted, so I might not crawl that fast.
All right. Roll it with disadvantage then.
Cool. What can I use to cancel out the disadvantage?
You can use any asset.
Any asset.
Your kit, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't you have a severed hand?
I do. That's technically, I wrote it down as if I owned it, but I think it's technically one of the exploits for the set.
It is, but you
Uh,
can still use that. Everything is everything.
all right. How I'm open for ideas. How do I use a sentient hand that knows how to paint to help with my distraction? Oh, is it by way of apology? I offer to chop off my own hand.
And
They're
Yes.
you'll
like,
fake it.
please accept
Oh my
this, and then just
God.
like do that, and it crawls off distractingly.
Do some kind of
Yeah, just hand up the sleeve. There's no way that a hand crawling off wouldn't, uh, catch the eye.
I
S
like it.
Yeah, it seems foolproof.
Seems foolproof to me.
All right, let's see how we go. Nope, we rolled a one on one of the die, and it adds up to five total. I might as well have rolled with disadvantage. My hand!
Oh, and I've forgotten again. What are you afraid? What are you afraid would happen?
I mean, probably just getting nabbed. I'm crawling close enough to be within range of this person who is hoping to either capture or disable all of us. So, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we go old school in that I get beat to a pulp with the cane I was hoping to grab. Just every time my hand goes up to try to grab it, get whacked and see a finger go out of alignment.
Yeah, given the stakes here,
Hmm.
I you are groveling. The hand that you have chopped off, quote unquote chopped off,
Hmm.
does not lay still,
Hmm.
but scurries towards her. And she impales it with the cane and lifts it up and looks at it and looks at you and says, Vincent. Hmm. And takes the hand and throws it against the wall. And then strolls up to you and doesn't beat you with the staff, but she
Hmm.
is going to impale you
Hmm.
and stick you right where you are. And she says, we've had a shortage of tellers lately. I think you will be a wonderful replacement. And you are stuck to the ground here, bleeding out with this bone cane that you so desire pierced through your body.
Hmm. Seems bad.
It is. Is this the end of Fix?
It's tempting.
or at least the new beginning for Fix.
The next time you see him, his eyes will be stitched closed and his hands up by his shoulders, but still stealing. Um, I don't know. Mechanically, what are the options here? I mean, I could see like there's the ending the character moves.
Someone could toss you a bona fide if Jane Doe has one, could toss that to you. Um, you could use a bona fide here as well. That will up the result.
How do I do that?
Um,
Do I just use it, do one of my bona
yeah.
fides?
What were Michael's dice here?
They were a 4 and a 1.
A four and a one.
Hmm.
So, what do you remember what your die was with
My bond
Fix?
die?
Yeah,
3.
three. So you could replace the one here, and that would make it a seven.
Yeah, I'll do that.
How are you doing it?
I think as hmm.
You could claim I'm your property as a Theranor. Maybe there's some sort of don't play with other people's food rule.
They do seem very possessive based on
Hmm.
the conversation that we overheard. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think I'm going to, as Fix is pathetically crawling towards Eliza, and she goes to impale Fix into the ground. I think I'm just going to put my hand up and say, "Wait one moment, mistress. This one belongs to me."
Countess, not mistress.
Of course.
Call me by my proper title.
And Countess I will. I'm sure you understand that I am new to Terranor, but I am one of you. And while I may be part of this motley crew, I do support what our people support. Had I been able to vote, I would have voted yes.
Hmm. Um, in the confusion that's been caused here, Fix, do you want to roll 2d6 and see what happens with this cane?
Sure, why not? Sure, we've used up all of our bad luck at this point. It's nothing but clear skies ahead. Hey, you guys want to see another one? This time it's a 7.
Oh, okay. Um, Tell me, as Eliza and Jane are discussing, debating who you belong to and
Mhm.
how Jane missed the vote and so on and so forth. Um, how are you getting the cane?
I can bump the result with one of my own bona fides, right?
You could.
Yeah, I think it's time to introduce the where I've been keeping all of my biological samples, namely in a little pocket
Ooh.
dimension. So I think he's got for easy access, he's got something like a portable hole. You see him while he's like squirming around on the floor and saying, "Don't look at me, I'm a pathetic worm." He's like going into a vest pocket and then just slides the hole under so that the cane slips right down into it and catches her off balance. I'm like, oh, sorry. And then back in the pocket, close it right back up. I'll
Um,
get that back. I'm so sorry.
do you want to do the prompt now or do you want to do it as like a closing thing?
I think we can wait.
Okay. Um, Uh, Hijack, are you seeing any opportunity here to
I'm a worm.
to somehow get the crew out of this situation.
Uh, so I have a crossbow.
You do. Do you want to just shoot Eliza Hemlock with it? Is that what you're
It's her
suggesting?
wedding day. That seems gauche.
Hmm.
But sometimes you have to be gauche. So our goal with this heist is
You
what are we
are
trying to
trying to steal a sample of Harvoid the Third's blood, a ruler who died, and who they're hoping to clone and prevent a civil war from breaking out. And you know that like the blood banks are where the sort of like royal and most interesting blood is certainly stored in case it's needed.
uh well, we have a crossbow tracking darts in particular.
Hmm.
Um During this commotion, could I break the tracking, the transponder off of a dart, stuff it in one of the teller's mouths, and massage their throat a little bit, try and get to where the blood actually is stored,
Oh yeah.
or a location for that?
So you're going to use the so essentially using this moment of distraction for breaking the target, getting the loot here.
At least getting maybe a bit of a hint in the right direction.
Yeah. With breaking the for what it's worth, breaking the target here, we keep it simple and we just do a single roll. Um, I'll read the move. Break the target. Once the group reaches the target, they'll attempt to steal the loot, and each present character should roll 1d6. Then take the highest two dice to determine the result. You all are acting towards this goal in distracting Eliza as Carlisle uses the crossbow and tries to figure out what's going on with one of these tellers. So, for sure, everybody roll a d6. 3, 4,
Six.
6, a 10. 10 on a 10 plus, you get the loot and gain an asset. Um, so yeah, describe how this works as you're interacting with this weird teller body.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much as described. He'll kind of back away from what's going on. This as Jane Doe is confronting Eliza, just get close enough to one of the tellers to slip that piece of a tracking dart into that open mouth. And then he's just going to start hitting buttons, hitting fingers until something happens. It just needs to go back to the reservoirs.
Uh, yeah, I think the mouth at some point like stops saying like please lay down on the floor and just kind of opens wide and you see this vial of blood drop out and it is labeled Harvoid 3 right there. So you have the loot that you have been coming here for. On top of that, let's say I'm looking at what's available here. Oh, okay. Um, I I think the other two don't notice this. Um, there's been a hole that's been opened up um in the landscape of Terranor in order to like get this cane into Fix's pocket dimension. And Hijack, you notice that the catacombs like seem to like wince in pain, like constrict in pain when that happens. Um, you would connect this as a curator. I think on the walk down, Jane was telling you about the room that she was in, her exploration of Castle Lancet, and she was describing like something that you would know would be a pain monitor. And so the flaw that you have pieced together here is that the city was designed to feel pain, and it's monitored in Castle Lancet. Um, we have the loot, and we then just automatically move to the next phase of the heist. We are closing in on time, though, so we will do our epic conclusion next time um, on Planet Raygun. I think as that vial pops out and you see Harvoid the Third's label on it, that's when we like cut to black. Or wait, we cut over to a bona fide scene. It's Fix.
Yeah, so the question about Fix's pocket dimension is who has been into your archive that probably shouldn't have? How have you kept them quiet? And I think we'll do a callback to a character that we introduced last time, which was the fellow collector Leonid. Back in the early days when I thought that we were more peers than competitors, this avian bird-like collector was invited to see my stash, and we talked about the coming end of the universe and how we might plan for it. And how have I kept them quiet about it? I think, despite the fact that they have my original eyes, they may still be holding out a hope that there's room for them on the arc. That all will be forgiven at some point. I just haven't understood the brilliance of their design and why they took my original eyes and left me with these that see cosmic background radiation.
Cool. And then we cut back to present day in your pocket dimension, and there's just the bone cane sitting there within the camera frame. And then we hear Carolyn Rose's "Blood on the on Your Boot Heels" play, and the credits start to run on the episode. Stars and wishes. Let's move to everyone.
I already put this in chat, but stars for Red Julius. Red Julius freaking got me. That got me good. I laughed so hard in real life. It was a guffaw, like a witch cackle even. So that was excellent. Huge star to Mike and Ben for that whole scene with the flirting. It was really fun, really fun to be there and watch that going on. You guys seemed like you were having a lot of fun, and it was really great character interaction. So that was wonderful. Um, Leland, we didn't get to see too much of you this time, but I love that you were immediately getting the fanciest cloak you can get. That was pretty great. And Fix the whole scene with the pipe organs. That's classic Michael Van Vliet right there. That was great. Stars for all of that. So I'm looking forward to my wish is to find out what Sierra was doing in that room and what kind of conversation we had after I burst in. I'm really excited for Rob to come back so we can find that out.
I'll pop in here and echo a lot of that. I enjoyed the immediate Fix and Leland argument over his dandruff and whether he'd get that back. And the obviously I'm but a worm, big star there. Amanda, the cinematicness of the bats flying over Jane's shoulders, standing in the doorway. That was just perfect. I could see the flash of lightning in the background. And yeah, Mike, this is I did not know what to expect this time around. I was not expecting space vampires, but this was a lot of fun and really the Theranor. That's a Theranos reference, right? Like that's on purpose. Okay, all right, yep. Uh, yeah, a lot of fun. Thanks. Glad to be back at it and looking forward to seeing where it goes.
Yeah. Apologies for dipping there for a moment. But it was fun. Good to be back. I've played this particular heist once before, but it's already so different uh, than the last time I played it. But it's also one of my favorites. I love a good space vampire though. Yeah, no, super fun interaction with Fix and Leland after getting out of the coffin. Love the idea of a vampire robot. Uh, and sort of a wish as well. Uh, I want to see if that continues to sort of play out even after this heist. Does that sort of parasite linger in the main frame? Um, uh, and then yeah, I want to see. Uh, I'd like to see our royal back at some point as well. And I really enjoyed the sort of what little there were, but I'd like to see more of them. The interaction between the two curators,
Hmm.
because there's a lot of similarities, but there are also a lot of differences. And so seeing how they apply their certain specific skills and tools uh, is going to be interesting. Um, and then yeah, Sturdy Mike for running it. Thank you again. Um, yeah, this was super fun, and I promise to be more awake for it next time.
No worries.
Couple of things that stood out. I love a good argumentative info desk employee who, of course, realizes that they don't need to be tested. It's their job. A star for establishing that going forward, all holographs start with a smoke bomb. Just planting that seed. I guess that also becomes a wish. Love that it happened. Want to see it pay off again. Figure out how you start building that into everything. Um, yeah, star for the reveal that the team's Royal has maybe sold us out. It's unclear, but the even bigger star. Can't believe he got betrayed by my new pal Nerio. I really thought we had something going there, that we had bonded on a really basic level. Uh, and as a wish, I can't wait to replace them uh, with someone who will do a proper job and really elevate that pipe organ rental
Hmm.
space. They could be doing so much more. There's a lot of potential there. I don't know if you had to imagine the chords, but they were tasty. Some tasty licks. Why is the
Yeah.
city designed to feel pain? That seems like such a bad idea.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Um, Stars for me, yeah, I would echo a lot of what's been said. The setup was a lot of fun. I liked Leland being in the sarcophagus and that whole like scene of like you all just like leaning into not letting him out, whether intentionally or unintentionally. I assume intentionally. If unintentionally, still great move. And yeah, like a lot of the interaction scenes were a lot of fun. I think like this is kind of like a half star, as Jack alluded to. Like this is the second time that I've run this particular heist, and this is a pretty heavily edited one. It felt a lot more fluid to run, and I think opened up a lot of those like moments that we've run into. Uh, Having the character interactions again, I always love when these things like develop kind of organically. The it was fun setting up the choice for hijack and having to not knowing which way you would pick on that, and then of course the way that that like developed was a lot of fun. And I think that might be a nemesis. Who knows how that's going to pan out as time goes on. I Yeah. Um, and then Amanda, yeah, leaning into the vampire robot thing is great. I dropped the idea of Sierra being in the room um, and thought, ooh, this would be fun. But now it's even more fun that we know that you have barged into that room, and we as an audience do not know what happened after you barged into the room. I really want to know because it could be any number of things. And yeah, that's a fun thing to find out. The scene, yeah, the chaos of having Eliza Hemlock in the catacombs with you all and how that kind of panned out was a nice. I really liked how that like the three beats worked there of like fix trying to get the Kane, Jane Doe, um, uh, subverting the death there, and then hijack Carlisle using that moment to like go for the loot. Just played out like perfectly. Like that scene is great. Um, yeah, and in the next episode, we unleash the hunt. Eliza's not happy with what she's seen happen, and um, yeah, it's running really well. I enjoyed this one. And you all are just killing it, leaning into the vibes and that kind of thing. This is um I think the joke of this heist is that it starts with Mario Bava's Planet of the Vampires and then just switches to Gothic vampires as you like move past this wall, and now you are going to go back into Mario Bava's Planet of the Vampires with actual vampires chasing you, and so it'll be fun to see how that plays out.
Plus
Um,
a vampire sloth.
oh yes, and we've got the vampire sloth that we know is someone very important. Thank you
Yeah.
for noting that, so I don't forget it when I
One
rewatch
more
this
nemesis.
to set up for next week. Cool. Anything else from anyone?
1,372 days left.
Oh, I'm glad that we have the updated number. Wave bye to everyone, and then we'll do a little bye behind the scenes. Pew.